CBS soaps don't care about queer characters. At least that's how it feels at the moment. Time of recording, most of their queer characters are pretty much in the background. Their side characters, they barely have anything going on. And I wanted to make this video sooner, but I decided to wait until after Pride Month to see if anything may change because of Pride Month. But nothing really has so far, so I'm going to talk about this. Let's talk about Beyond the Gates first, since that's the soap opera that handles its gay characters the best. Let's talk about Martin specifically. So Martin is a politician, he's a congressman, he's also married, he has children with his husband, and they live as a happy family, right? So in season 1, Martin felt like one of the main characters. He had a lot going on. He has this big, bad, dark secret, right? That still hasn't been revealed, but it's just been hidden so far, and it'll still come out eventually, right? But so far, it's been hidden. But season 1 was all about keeping it hidden, and how it impacted him and his family, and how it was impacting his husband and all the things that Martin would do to his husband. Because in season 1, Martin was a bit of a dick. He was an asshole. He was overbearing and controlling, and he was a lot. Season 2, Martin is more chill. I actually like Martin now because I hated him in season 1. But season 2, character development. He's much better. He's a much better husband. However, in season 2, Martin also doesn't really have that much to do. He doesn't feel like a main character anymore. He's more like a background character. His only real storyline so far has been, I'm running for re-election. First, he had a primary election. We barely saw anything about that. All we saw is him preparing for it. Like, I gotta write speeches. I gotta go out and, charm the voters, my constituents, right? We've had all of that, him talking about it, but we didn't really see anything about this primary. We didn't even see who he's running against in the primary. We saw nothing. The most they did with that story was have that big, fundraising event, which was the crossover with the Young and the Restless. And it was a good crossover. The Beyond the Gates episodes anyway. It was a good crossover for them. I enjoyed it. They had the tornado and people were trapped in Fairmont Crest and almost died and got hurt. It was great. However, that storyline quickly stopped being about Martin and became about his sisters. Eva got hurt. She was about to die. She needed, I think it was a liver transplant, right? And they were going to Kat, the other sister, and then everything became about Kat and how she felt about going through surgery and giving a piece of her body to a sister she hates. It became all about Eva and Kat. The storyline quickly stopped being about Martin when it was this whole fundraiser and him running for the primary. And then, he just won the primary and that was it. It's like there was really nothing. This storyline was really nothing. It's nothing important. It's like, that's crazy to me that this whole thing stemmed from him running and then the storyline just stopped being about him. And that's the most he's been able to do in the entirety of season 2 so far. It's like, oh man. His husband, Smitty, he doesn't do much better. In terms of focus and storyline. He's a reporter and he had that storyline with Jacob, going undercover, but I hated that undercover storyline. It was mostly about Jacob anyway, and I hated it. So, Smitty don't do nothing really. Martin barely does anything. He has a general election to win now. Are we actually going to see that opponent in the general election? Like, who knows? It's a soap opera, so I'm being patient. However, it's like you give focus to all the other characters like all the time, but Martin and Smitty are barely doing anything. You know what I mean? They're just, being husbands and being dads, and that's about it. I also wanted to note that, and maybe it's just me, I don't know, but every time Martin and Smitty kiss, the camera quickly shifts to somebody else. Like if there are other people in the room, like if Martin and Smitty go to kiss, it will quickly shift to like the kids or some other family member. It's weird. Like, what is going on? Like, if you don't like gay characters, why do you have them? I was also gonna complain that we barely see any love-making scenes between Martin and Smitty. I think they had like the one, maybe two, but they definitely had that one scene. And it was pretty quick. And I was going to complain about that, but even the straight love-making scenes in soaps these days are pretty quick. I don't know, maybe that's just a thing now, but whatever. They only had like one. I mean, Danny and Andre be knocking boots like all the time. So it's like, I don't know. Nope, never mind. I'm still going to complain. I went back and rewatched that scene and it is way shorter than the other love-making scenes for other couples. Nah. Beyond the Gates is pretty revolutionary in the fact that they have more than one queer couple on this show. So they have Chelsea and Madison as well, who are engaged. And in season 2, they barely do anything, right? I mean, Madison has has this one storyline where she's being sued for medical advice she didn't even give. That storyline is boring, and we barely see anything about it. Her lawyers talk about the lawsuit more than she does. And Madison is barely on this show. Time of recording. Chelsea, the Dupree character, also barely does anything in season 2. She's such a side character. She's mostly, I don't know, Kat's best friend and cousin. Season 1, Chelsea was doing a lot of things. She was coming to terms about liking both men and women. She got freaking kidnapped by a psycho stalker. Like, she had a lot going on. And in season 2, she barely does anything. And I'm more disappointed in anything about them kind of ignoring the psycho stalker. So, okay, she was kidnapped, then she was found, the stalker got arrested, and then that's it. It's like soap operas in the modern day anyway. They tend to forget that getting arrested, it doesn't end there. Like, you have to actually have a trial. They tend to forget that part. Chelsea should be in the courtroom talking about this or something, or maybe that girl should have a jailbreak or something. Like, there's a lot you could still write with that psycho character because she was pretty interesting, but they've just forgotten about that and just put Chelsea on the sidelines, and it's weird. There's a whole freaking storyline to do right now with that crazy bug-eyed lady, and you're just not doing it, and I don't understand. It's more interesting to you for them to just have a wedding that they plan sometimes, and you could give them storylines, you just choose not to, man. Let's talk about The Bold and the Beautiful, the fashion soap opera that just now decided to give us gay characters in like 2025. Insane, and I've commented on that before. But fine, you have some gay characters. You barely do anything with them, though. I don't know. I feel like Deke and Remy should be having this very toxic relationship right now, but we get nothing interesting with them. And it's sad. I actually really like Deke. I think he's a cool character, but you barely focus on him. Even now, when his career is finally taken off, he has this big designing job, like he works at this fashion house, Logan now, right? His career is taken off. This storyline is mostly about his sister Hope. It is mostly about Hope and her betraying Forrester and her mother being all upset. It is all about Hope right now. It is 95% Hope and 5% Deke. And it's weird. And they even like downplay the fact that he's the freaking fashion designer. Oh, it's all Hope's vision. He's the one designing it and bringing it to life. But oh, you know, it's Hope's vision. And it's, oh my God. I feel like Remy has the potential to be one of the new psychos like Sheila back in the day, but they barely put him on screen. So what are you gonna do, right? It's annoying. I don't know. Deke and Remy have just been pushed to the side for the most part in favor of freaking RJ, Miss Dillon, Electra, and Will. And honestly, I'm tired of all of them. I'm tired of all of them and their middle school drama. It is insane. Justice for Deke and Remy. I don't even watch The Young and the Restless anymore. It's just a very horrible soap. But when I was watching, they weren't doing anything with those lesbians they have over there. They have Tessa and Mariah, one of the most boring couples you will ever see. Like, they haven't been interesting in years. They got married, they decided to adopt a child, and there really hasn't been anything of note with them since. Last I saw, Mariah was having a nervous breakdown. They both were barely on the show, and when they were, it was boring. Their marriage is pretty much falling apart. Tessa has decided to get some dick. And while a lot of people were mad at that, Tessa has always liked dick sometimes, so I wasn't. But I think the issue is the fact that this is the only real queer couple y'all got. And now it's pretty much gone. And I don't know if anything of note has happened since because I don't watch that show. But yeah, they don't really do well with their gay couples over at the Young and the Restless. But Young and Restless doesn't have a really good history of doing well with their gay storylines. So now I remember that the Young and the Restless did a special episode celebrating Lauren, the character of Lauren Finmore, because the actress had been on there for like 40 years or whatever. So they had a special episode where they had like all her family members there. And that's very special because they don't really do anything with Lauren or her family these days. But they had her whole family there. And then they had her son Finn there, who hasn't been on the show in a long time. And all of a sudden, he's gay now, or queer, or bisexual, whatever, right? He has a boyfriend now. That was all new information. And then we're doing nothing with that since. That could have been interesting. Could have had Finn come back on the show and give him a storyline with his man, but oh no. Can't do any of that. Apparently, they only want to write for Finn when he's obsessed with Summer, a woman who has never wanted him. Kept him perpetually in the friend zone, never wanted him that way, but he just kept being obsessed with her, right? That's the only time they want to write for Finn. When he actually moves on and got a man, I don't know. You're going to get that one episode and that's it. All I ask is that you actually write for your queer characters and give them real storylines. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. General Hospital, I mean, they just killed off one of their gay characters. They still have Lucas there. Lucas does a lot on the show. Like, you know, General Hospital to me is pretty good at using a lot of his characters. And Lucas, even after the loss of his boyfriend, he still has a lot to freaking do. And it looks like they're about to give him a new boyfriend soon, so kudos, right? I don't know. It's just use your characters, use them, do interesting things with them. That's all I gotta say, man. Like this video if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna say it again because some of y'all are hard-headed. Like this video if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.